Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is going to be what if Naruto was raised in the Sand Village part 2, and in case you couldn't tell since my voice is like still quiet from the last part, I'm recording all of these videos within like the same time frame, and my goal is to finish before 5 or before 5:30, but oh, in case you didn't know, before 5 or before 5:30 a.m. since I have school today. I'm school in like 2 hours, so I'm gonna try my best and finish this. I'm gonna try my best and finish this as quickly as I can, while also giving you quality content. Well, what I hope is quality content. But with that out of the way, let's just get right into it. Chapter 2: Naruto, the fourth child of the Kazekage. Any questions they had were answered by Rasa, and after an hour of explanations and tears, they all accepted each other as a family. Naruto over this month had gotten used to the ways of the Sand Village. All the villagers were nice to him without being told to, and they had been helpful when needed. He looked around and found a local ramen shop. Even though it wasn't as good as Ichiwaku's, it was pretty good. Naruto had also started the academy in the sand, which was pretty much the same as the Leaf, but with Sand Village history as a focus, but with history on the Sand Village when it came to history, and some puppet jutsu. But Naruto enjoyed his time with the Sand Trio the most. He found Kankoro's puppetry interesting and cool. He regularly told Tamari that she was the strongest kunoichi he's ever seen, and as for Gaara, these two were inseparable. Naruto followed Gaara everywhere, and Gaara followed Naruto everywhere. And they were as loyal to each other as Zoro was to Luffy. Whenever they were apart, they started crying until they were together again. Wasa found this cute yet annoying. In case you forgot, all of them are 4. Gaara and Naruto are 4, while Tamari and Kankuro are 5. The Sand Quartet being a fancy way to say 4, the Sand Quartet's relationship with Yasumaru was pretty good. Yasumaru was a fun uncle type of person, and they all enjoyed it. He helped Kankuro with puppet ideas. Tamari with her fans, and helped her to carry the heavy one Wasa made. And as for Gaara and Naruto, he helped them with everything. He spoiled the two of them the most, and while he said he didn't favor any of them, everyone knew, including Naruto and Gaara, that the two of them were the favorites. He gave them the most food, the most toys, and everything. Hang on. Okay, I had to plug my laptop in since it was getting close to dying. Now, where was I? Yeah. In the last week of Naruto staying in the sand, Wasa informed the village about everything that happened in the last 2 Kage summons, and everything about Naruto. The village was shocked, since they thought that Naruto was just very friendly with the Kazekage's kids, but they found out that he was stolen by their own Kage. They didn't know what to feel, but when Wasa explained his actions, everyone, even some of the younger people, like 12-year-olds, teenagers, they agreed on why he did that. On the last day, Naruto was crying so much that made everyone else that saw him shed tears, even if it was just a little bit. But Wasa told Naruto that he had to live without them for a month so he can live with them forever. Naruto sadly agreed and went back to the Leaf at the end of the day. And for the month Naruto was in the Leaf, he hated it. He gained some smarts from the sand and knew that he was in the village to be as nice as possible, so he had stayed. The only part of the Leaf that he liked and missed was Ichiwaku's. He went there even more. Before he went like 3 to 5 times a day now. Before he went like 3 to 5 times a day, but now he goes 10 times at least. He goes 10 times a day at least. He gets the money from the increase of pay he was and gives him. Naruto then noticed that one of the people in the village that genuinely liked them was Hinata. Over this month, he spent time with Hinata and realized he liked her. Hayase would reluctantly allow this, considering he's trying to keep Naruto in the leaf. On the last day, he told Hinata how he felt, and she felt the same. But when he asked her to come with him, she said no. This was because she wants to change the Hyuga clan, and if she can't do that, if she's outside the leaf. Naruto asks if she can bring the Hyuga clan for, like a 4-year-old would. She sweat drops and tells him that it wouldn't be possible, and he sadly agrees. Naruto asks if Teuti and Ayame, the people that work at the ramen shop, would come with him, and they say no as well. As much as they care for and love Naruto, they know too much stuff about the village to go anywhere else. And yes, I think Teuti the ramen guy has listened to so much ninja info by the people eating ramen that his daughter, and everything that he owns is now property of the leaf, not a citizen property. Anyway, just think about it. Anyway, the second it turned to midnight, Naruto went as fast as he could outside the village. He memorized the way back to the sand and had left a trail for himself, just in case he forgot some parts. And after a half an hour, Naruto was in the land of wind. At first, he started running, but he quickly lost stamina and started to speed walk very quickly. He had bought some instant ramen, some granola bars, and water bottles for the trip, and if he had any left, he planned to share it with the others. Quick question. If anyone watching this has actually had instant ramen, is it like, instant ramen when you, where you open it and the ramen's already prepared? Or do you have to fulfill some conditions? Because I've heard of instant ramen, I just don't really know how it works. Anyway, the second Naruto entered the land of wind, he was surrounded by gold dust. And rushed to the sand village. He would have felt scared, but he recognized the dust and realized it was Wasa. And in a mere seconds, Naruto was reunited with his family. Well, that's the end of chapter 2, but seeing how I'm not even 10 minutes into this, I'm just gonna finish chapter 3. Wait, hang on, how much pages is chapter 3? 17. 5. Yeah, okay. Chapter 3, The Awakening of a New Power. Naruto had just arrived back to his real home, and he was embraced by his family. The second Gao saw something coming towards him, he started crying happy tears, and he was the first to hug Naruto. Naruto was crying as well since he missed them. Kanko and Tamari started to cry when they hugged Naruto, and Wasa and Yasumaru couldn't hold their tears. They all embraced each other for like 3 minutes before going home. I feel a burp coming on. As I say I feel a burp coming on, it goes away. I hate it. Dang it. Anyway. The moment Wasa was about to open the door so they can all go inside, he sensed something behind them and he said, "Everyone duck!" They all went down while Wasa covered them with his dust. Then a massive explosion was sent at them, but Wasa protected everything within the blast range with his dust. When he put his dust down, he sees 5 people that seem to be armed, but they have unusual types of masks on. Wasa thought that they were sent by Hyugen, and he was furious. He says, "I order you all to state your business here. We only answer to one person, and you're not that person," one of them vaguely says. Wasa is about to say something else, but he then sees the golden chain sprout out of the ground and wrap around the 5 of them. He looks down and he sees Naruto and Gao with pure rage in their eyes. Both of the eyes have turned red. In their head, someone bad is trying to rip apart the family, and they will not stand for it. Gao asks Sukaku for help, but Sukaku declines. When Gao asks why, Sukaku tells him that he is only 4, and that he can't handle much Bijuu chakra, and that even if Gao could and tried to help Naruto, He might die from the aftershock. Gaha calms down a bit and looks at Naruto, and when he does, he notices that Naruto's eyes have also turned red, but they've become so red that little redder than the Sharingan. Wait, hang on. I'm gonna see if water is a word real quick. Yes, it is. And with Naruto has to saw parts of all the chains dig into the Anbu skin. Naruto then raises his hand as if he's holding something. He's gathering all the dust and sand in the area from the air, ground, and from other people. While he's gathering the dust and sand, he starts to say, "How dare you try to whip my family? How dare you try to whip me away from my family for the third time? You first lied to me about my original family, about who they even were, and then you antagonized me, which is what they both didn't want, and then you sold me my only remaining family left, and I can only stay with them for a month, and when I finally return to my actual family, you want to take that from me? You will never take me from my family again." I feel like that should have been more emotional, but I kept stuttering, so as Naruto had finished his rant, the dust and sand forming in the sand had finished, and it was iron sand at the bottom, gold dust in the middle, Shukaku's sand at the top, blue is covering all of it, Shukaku's black marking over the blue sphere, and there is a magnetic field that is very clearly visible. And after it made a noise, notifying everyone around it that it's finished, Naruto then wusses the Anbu, and he then jumps up into the air and says with all his might, "Magnet style, four-way magnetized Rasengan!" And then the Rasengan grows into half of Mobseki's red Rasengan. Needless to say, they all died. Naruto then fell down from the sky, unconscious, but he was quickly caught by Yasumaru. Tamari then used her very little wind staff to cushion the air below the two of them. Kanko used his puppets to wrap around them and take most of the damage, and finally, Wasa uses his gold dust to soften the ground below, turning it into a type of non-lethal quicksand. Hang on. Sorry about that, I was taking a short water break. Anyway, when Yasumaru and Naruto came down to the ground, they all had another moment of crying. And after that whole fiasco, they go back inside. Wasa then traveled to the leaf at full speed after everyone fell asleep. He didn't even wait for Yasumaru to get ready. He barges into the Hokage's office after he gets there in a minute. Wasa then holds Hiruzen by the throat with his gold dust. "Now why the hell would you try to take Naruto back from me? I thought we both agreed on this. What changed?" Hiruzen's Anbu went to protect him, but the mere murderous instinct coming from Wasa was so bad that made them pass out from the presence, like Kurosaki. I'm making a lot of One Piece references, and my One Piece knowledge is I'm making a lot of One Piece references, and that's because I've watched up to like episode 60 something of One Piece. The last thing I remember is the Straw Hats leaving the island where the two giants were, and I know some stuff about that onwards, but yeah, not that much. The reason I'm telling you this is because when I first started this channel, my first idea was one of my first ideas was I thought it'd be cool if I made like what if Zoro had actually cut off his legs during that island arc, and what if Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail had actually cut off her arm during the Owasion Chase arc. Yeah, those are kinda cool. But for me to do either of those, I'd have to watch the shows, so don't expect them to come for like a long time. Anyway, tangent aside, Hughes manages to ask Wasa what he's talking about, and Wasa explains what had happened. Hughes then says, "That's a pretty interesting story. I'll let you know the truth if you let me go." Wasa lets him go. "Now that you stopped choking me, Kinky, I must say that I have no idea what you're talking about. I know how it sounds, but I didn't do anything to bring Naruto." Hiruzen then stops talking as he realizes that Danzo was the one behind this. He tells Wasa about this, and he then realizes as he's telling Wasa that Danzo was the one who filled his head with doubt. Hiruzen then gets up from his chair, gets in front of Wasa, gets on his knees, and bows to him. "I deeply apologize for everything I said to you 4 years ago. I had my mind clouded with the darkness that comes out of Danzo's mouth every time he opens it. If I had known that Danzo was the root of my aggressiveness, I would have fired him, maybe even killed him for messing with my mind. I realize I have made many mistakes, but I do know that I won't make another mistake by wasting this opportunity to finally kill him." Also was amazed that the person that he thought was a demon was actually being controlled by a demon he kept very close to him. Kind of like Yagura, but I'll get more into that on my other what if. Wasa told Hiruzen to stand up, and when he did, Wasa hugged him. Wasa forgave him, but he did punch Hiruzen in the gut. They both know that. They both know. Oh my goodness. They both knew that Hiruzen deserved it. And then the two of them went to find Danzo and kill him. Danzo was in the root headquarters when he heard a boom. Danzo had a feeling that this would happen, so he got in a fighting stance. Before Danzo could even move, Wasa had covered him in a sand coffin. He then used a sand barrier and crushed Danzo. But Danzo appeared above them with an air-infused kunai and did a downward slash to both of them. Or at least tried to. Wasa had magnetized Danzo's entire body so he would attract his dust. And I know that magnet style probably doesn't work like that, but in this what if it does, so I'm gonna be bringing that up a lot. Danzo gets pulled towards the same cluster of sand and gets impelled by the dust when it turns into a spike. And then he appears beside them once more, but he gets pulled towards the dust again. And then, the second time he gets pulled towards the dust, Wasa just does all of Gao's ultimate jutsus in Storm 4, including his own ultimate jutsu, each time Danzo reappears. Yet he's still alive, but he only has the implanted Sharingan eye left to use Izanagi. But Hiruzen stops Wasa from killing him again, so he can deal the final blow. Hiruzen then speed blitzes Danzo and used Rasengan to cut to Danzo's covered up eye. It's been stated that Hiruzen knows a lot of powerful jutsu, like the Saddle Possession, Mind Transfer, and Expansion jutsu, and jutsu along those lines, so it makes sense that he could use Rasengan. But then Danzo appears behind Hiruzen to kill him with his Hashirama Cell Arm, but Hiruzen jumps over the attack and shoves Rasengan through his chest. And now Danzo is dead. The two Kages then leave the root headquarters and go back to their respective homes. But Hiruzen makes a letter to Naruto apologizing for everything that he's done, and he gives it to Wasa so Naruto can receive the message. Wasa returns to the sand and leaves the note next to Naruto's bed, and then goes to sleep, happy that things with Hiruzen have been cleared up and that they might be able to have a strong alliance, like they once did with Minato holding that hat as well. as well as, and he's also happy that he finally is reunited with his family. And that's where chapter 3 ends. If you made it this far in the video, thanks, I really appreciate that. Sorry for the stuttering and the what's it called? Incorrect pronunciation, I think it is. Cause when I meant to say both, I said boof. It's so funny. And yeah, I think that's it. Hope anyone watching this has a great day. Noob out. Bye.